So I'm just gonna get right into it. The items that I use are a rat tail comb, the one with the pointy end to help me part better. Edge control, the edge effect, which is the 5 and the strongest one that they have out. The easy braid braiding hair for kids. It comes a little shorter and it comes 2 in 1 pack. Some clips to pin up the hair. A braiding stand, in which I got this from Hobby Lobby. Black castor oil, in which you can get this from Jungle Gems. So first you have to make the part. I normally make the part with the end of the comb because it's faster and I can get a cleaner line, and then I go back with the front of the comb or the top of the comb and clean it up. But I like using I don't know what these kind of combs are called, but I like using these combs with the pointier ends and the missing space in between it because it helps get a cleaner line. Like the way the regular rat tail combs are made is a little thicker than the way these are made. And it normally takes me a little minute to get that first part. So now once you get the part, I'm kind of eye it on how many, I'm making triangle partings, so I kind of eye it on how many triangle partings that I want. For this area, you need 3. So I part in the triangle direction going down, and then I follow that triangle after, I guess, creating like a pyramid. This is where I put the black castor oil. I put on the back of my hand, and then I just rub it into the parts. Now I'm using the edge control, and what I'm doing is rubbing it on the whole perimeter of the part that I made. So I use edge control to help lay the hair down, and it makes a cleaner look. And with this edge control that I use, the edge effect, it acts like gel, so it holds the hair longer. It doesn't really get hard, but it kind of holds it like it's gel, and it dries a lot quicker than gel. So right here, I'm trying to slow the video down so you can see what I'm doing, because it's kind of hard with this view. I didn't realize it until after I started shooting. But what I'm doing is creating 3 sections. And I'm gripping it, like you have to grip it tight or otherwise your braid will come loose with making these. But I do one turn. Like for those of you that already know how to braid, you braid like you're starting to braid, but I do one turn as I'm braiding the hair, and then I put the hair on top of the section of each braid. I know some people go under, but I go on top, and I notice that this creates a more natural looking transition. So as you see, I'm taking the hair and I brought it under and through the middle on the right piece. Then I take that left piece and turn it over on top. And then you turn again like you continue to braid. And then that's when you go and grab that other hair and bring it to the middle. So you're going to watch me bring it from around the top over the third piece on the right. I hope I'm not making this too difficult, but I'm going to do it a couple of times so you can see. But right here, I'm taking the hair again, grabbing it to the middle, putting that third piece on the right side, finishing a braid or a turn of a braid. Take that left piece and throw it over the top again. Turn to make another braid, and then you grab that piece again. That piece that you put on the top and put it under and in the middle. But you still got that, your three pieces. So this goes in the middle, but that third piece that's on the right is not being braided with the weave. The size of the pieces that I'm using are about maybe 1/4 an inch of thickness. And then I keep grabbing with each turn. So every time I turn, I bring that hair up under, I add on another piece of hair. So like right there where I just turned it and brought the braid or the piece of hair to the middle, then I go and grab more hair. But once I see that the braid is getting thick enough, then I don't use any more hair. At least not for short braids. So then once I figure out how many pieces that I use, I try to use those same amount in each row. And the higher you get, the more pieces you may have to use, because if you want them the same length, then it's not going to create the same length if you just use the same amount of pieces. So I try to make everything even by the amount of pieces that I'm grabbing out. That's why I try to pull them all out at the same time. And then I use the same number for whatever row. So if I'm on the bottom row, I use 4 pieces maybe. And second row, I may use 5 pieces. Third row, 6 pieces. But every row, I use the same amount of hair. And don't worry about the hair that's like frizzy on the ends, because you can either go back and cut those at the end, but I usually don't. I boil them use boiling hot water on them, and then once you put dip them in the water, it lays all those hairs down. So now again, I'm just laying the edge control on the parting again to smooth out the next row. And then I smooth it with the comb. That way it'll lay in that same spot and help with gripping the hair. here I go again, creating 3 parts to start the braid, and then turn 1 time and then grab a piece of hair. Put that right piece and bring it around and under into the middle. Make it 1 turn, take the left piece, throw it over, make another turn to braid, and then grab that other second piece and bring it around to the middle, around and under to the middle. And then you're just going to keep doing that all the way down the braid. I'm starting the next row right here so I can be exactly a triangle, the opposite direction of the triangle that's below it. And then that way I can follow all the partings from there instead of starting in the front of the head. So right here, I'm creating the baby hairs before I start the braids. That way it's already out the way. But this is the very reason I like this edge control, because she wore this hairstyle and I laid some hairs down and 3 days later they were still laying down. But I guess depending on the person, and if you can't really use oil on the hair in this section before you do the hair because it turns white. But I usually don't have too many problems with it turning on white people's hair, but sometimes it does turn white. But other than that, it lays for days. I decided to add in some color hair so you can see how to tuck. This is probably like my third time really tucking hair, but I guess you can see it a little more easier when it's color hair. But what I'm doing the same methods of adding hair in, and the more hair that you get in there, it's easier to tuck. When you add in little pieces, it's kind of hard. So once I get the amount of pieces that I need in there, I'm taking the blue hair, or you'll see me take the blue hair, and I'm trying to wrap it around the black hair. But when the pieces are are thinner than the person's hair, it's kind of hard to do it, but that's when you may need to take a little more pieces and add it in order to cover it. And now I'm just dipping the ends in the boiling hot water. So this, I forgot to put that at the beginning of the video, but at the end of all my braids, when I'm done, I use this mousse. Not this particular kind, but usually the ones where you pour it into your hand and they grow. And I put her onto the roots all the way to the mid strand and put a scarf on and let that dry. So I hope you like this video. I'll be doing more, so please subscribe, and if you have any questions, just comment and I'll reply. See you in the next video.